Hi guys and welcome to Orders Operation, this first video in the general maths scheme over here in Australia, but Orders Operation are universal. If you are new to my channel, hi, welcome, my name's Darren, otherwise known as the MaffsGuru. If you can, do me a favour, head over to YouTube and subscribe, it'll just let me know that you're watching and greatly appreciated I will be too, or greatly appreciative. And also there's MaffsGuru.com, my website where you can basically download lesson notes, find all of these linked to a particular textbook, and hopefully it's really useful to you. Okay, learning objectives. By the end of this, I need you to know about BIDMAS or BODMAS, whichever you currently use. Now I'm going to use BIDMAS and actually how to use it. There is actually order to this stuff, and it's actually really important that when you're doing your calculations, you do them in the right order and follow the visual cues or the maths cues that we actually give you. All right, now, normally I start with a recap, but there's no point because this is the first video. And so we will just skip straight through into, is it BIDMAS or BODMAS? Now, I don't know about you, I lay awake each night worried about many things. Like, is the coronavirus real? Well, yeah, it is pretty real, trust me. I'm a little bit confused about Donald Trump and denial, but anyway. Is it maybe some trigger that we're all going to be a zombie soon? That's a bigger worry, I have to say. Maybe I should start watching The Walking Dead again, or any of those zombie films just as a survival guide now. Nah, to be honest with you, I'll be gone. Yeah, I'll be too much of a wuss. I'll be hiding in here, wouldn't notice, someone behind me, and I'm done. Anyway, but there are many things that keep me awake, but BIDMAS and BODMAS probably isn't one of them. Now, what is it? Is it like Vegemite? Nice? No, not really. Disgusting stuff. Don't know how people like it. Yeah, well, if you like it, I'm really sorry. You need your taste buds tested. BIDMAS and BODMAS are just rules to allow me to work out when I get an equation, what parts of it do I do first, or when I get some sort of maths thing. B stands for brackets. Okay, for both of these, I'll work out the I and the O in just a moment. D stands for division. M for multiplication, A for addition, and S for subtraction. Now, when we get some sort of a sum or some sort of mathematical thing to do, that's the order you should be able to do them. Now, I like I because it stands for indices. And there's a later video coming up about powers and square roots and stuff. Indices to me are basically floaty numbers. They are numbers what float. But I can't put an F there because maths makes no sense to anybody. For this one here, it stands for over/of. I'm really sorry, I don't, to this day, fully understand over/of, right? Because over is divide, but you've already got divide here. Of, when I went to school, stood for multiplication. Nothing in this particular thing turns around and says, well, that's actually a sort of floaty number. And so for the rest of my videos, I'm going to use BIDMAS. Right, so as we say here, it is massively important to show your working out here. So if I had something like 3 plus 2 times 6. Now, if you work from left to right, and that's that way to that way, for those of you who don't know your left, your right, trust me, I don't. You can guarantee I'm in the car and someone says to me, turn left, I'll turn right. I'll panic. I'm not really sure what's going on. But if we work left from right here, then actually what I would firstly do is 3 plus 2. Now, when I do my working out in all of these videos, I do bits underlined that says I'm going to do that bits first. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Then I copy down the rest, right? Put an equal sign there, and then I would put another equal sign, and 5 times 6 is 30. Now, sadly, that is actually the wrong answer. And there are acres of sort of Facebook things that come up all the time that goes, oh, can you get this? Only 3% in the world can get it. I want to beat to death the other 97%. And all the comments are below that people go, no. Anyway, when we do this type of stuff, just make sure that you do your working out line by line. There is nothing to be gained by doing stuff in your head. Trust me, you will make so many mistakes and you will lose marks in exams, which you should actually get because you can do this stuff, I promise you. All right, can I just use my calculator? Absolutely you can, because the calculator is an all-knowing, all-seeing thing, yes? No, it's not. It's a dumb piece of machinery. And unfortunately, it makes some very silly mistakes. I'll show you lots of those as we go through the course. But if we go back to an old 4-function calculator, oh my God, I had one of these when I was at school. Fabulous things they were. We were so excited it had solar power. The hours of fun we had covering it over. Anyway, old style 4-function calculator. If I put the sum 2 plus 3 times 4 into that calculator, it would give me the value of 20. And sadly, that is, by the rules of BIDMAS, Incorrect. If I put that same sum into my calculator, my CAS calculator, for example, 2 plus 3 times 4, it will give me 14, which is the right answer according to BIDMAS. Now, why? Because when we use BIDMAS, we follow it down and we say, are there any brackets in the question? No. Are there any indices? No. And again, there's another video coming a bit later on. It's a bit weird we do this first. Is there any division? No. Multiplication? Yes. And so we have to do the multiplication part first. Notice I put the line underneath. 3 times 4 is 12. Anything I don't use, that plus and that 2, I write down again. And then we do know that 2 plus 12 is equal to 14. My sort of 4-function calculator just worked from left to right. And in this situation, it did the 2 plus 3 first, which was the 5. It multiplied it by the 4, which gave me the 20, but it didn't follow the rules of BIDMAS. All right, so don't always believe what your calculator says. This is a sort of a little bit of an aside, but I've got an example here that basically the calculator is giving you the right answer, but unfortunately you'll make a horrible mistake if you use what the calculator tells you. For example, I want to book a number of buses to transport our local mathematics association. I'm not part of a local maths association, trust me. To a Sudoku event. Woo! We have 280 members. Woo! So many people. We've got no lives. If a bus can hold 50 people, how many buses will I need? Well, the maths behind this is basically, well, I've got 280 people. I divide that by 50. I'm going to put it into my CAS calculator, and out comes a value of 5.6. So obviously I need 5.6 buses. I do my answer and off I go. And unfortunately it's at this point that your teacher is either doing this or laughing hysterically in the corner while dribbling in a very, very padded cell. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how I'm going to phone up a bus company and say I want 5.6 buses. 0.6 of a bus. What is that? The 2 wheels and the top half or the bottom half? Nah. So in this situation, although your calculator is giving you the right answer, you would then have to think about it and go, I need 6 buses. I'll obviously have some spare seats, but I need 6. All right, so back to some simple rules. There's a lot of examples here, guys, and I'm going to go through them relatively quickly. So 3 plus 6 times 8. So we go brackets, none, indices, none, division, none, but there is some multiplication. So going to do that bit first. How you times tables? Hopefully good. That becomes 48 plus 3. Now notice when I work these out, I do the bit underneath and then I write everything else that I haven't used. So is there any addition? Yes, now I do my addition. 48 plus 3 gives me 51 and job is done. Now, what about this one? Looks like the same question, doesn't it? But it really isn't. Now, this is actually going to give me a very different answer because if I go 3 plus 6 times 8, put my equal sign, brackets, well, there are brackets. And when there are brackets, it tells us we have to do now, I hate the terms what's inside the brackets first because it's a little bit more complicated than that. But in this situation, do what the brackets are telling us first. Now, brackets are telling us to do 3 plus 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. Copy down everything else I haven't used. 9 times 8 is 72, and there is my correct answer. So in that situation, we do the brackets, then we did the multiplication. And here's another example. So now we've got 8 divided by 2 minus 2. And this is more like the stupid questions on Facebook, but anyway. So brackets, there aren't any. Indices, there aren't any. Division, there is. Have to do that first. So 8 divided by 2 when I went to school was 4. And I'm now going to subtract the 2. Multiplication there isn't, but there is division. Try that one again. There's no addition, but there is subtraction. So in this situation, that just gives me 2. So if you follow these rules one by one, life is awesome. Again, brackets. So we have 23 minus in brackets 8 minus 5 equals, are there brackets? Well, I should do that bit first. 8 minus 5 is 3. Copy in everything else that we haven't got, put an equal sign, and then look at it again. Indices, no. Division, no. Multiplication, no. Addition, no, but there is a subtraction, and 23 minus 3 is in fact 20. Keep following these examples. I promise you get more challenging as I go through. Oh, now we've got brackets. And what on earth is that? Now again, as I come back to maths, between anything that's stuck together, there is a kissy kissy. What is a kissy kissy? Well, funny you should ask that. When I send cards to my mum and dad, and at the very bottom I go, love, Darren, and I put lots of little kissy kisses. And it's surprising that, but that actually looks like a time sign. So what I now know is that the brackets there, between the brackets and the 3, and I'll come back to in a moment, is actually a times. So that should be written as brackets 4 times 3 minus 2. Now, let's look. Are there brackets? There are brackets. It tells me to do the stuff in the brackets first. Well, it doesn't make any sense. There's only a number 4 in the brackets, so it's a trick. And maths tries to trick you. So actually, that's nothing more than the same as 4 times 3 minus 2. Indices, no. Division, no. Multiplication, yes. So I'm going to do that bit first. 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract 2, another set of equal sign. There is subtraction, and so I'm going to get 10 as my right answer. Now, guys, if you're out there watching this, and I mean the boys, and you're going, whoa, so much working out, I guarantee you, if you do the working out, then when you get to year 12 and you do further maths, you are going to ace the course. If you try and do all of this stuff in your head, you are going to seriously mess up next year. Not even a joke. All right, next one. Ooh, 3 plus 5 in brackets x minus 1. Now, this is obviously going back a little bit to stuff you probably have done in previous years. Anything that is outside the bracket is times by it. So in this situation, between the 5 and the time, that little bracket is a kissy kissy. So that's the same as 3 plus 5 times x minus 1. Now, actually, guys, in this situation, can I do x minus 1? Nope, not at all. So everything outside my bracket is going to times everything inside my bracket. And there are lots more videos coming up with this a little bit later on. So the 3 and the plus I'm not really dealing with. 5 times the x gives me 5x. 5 times minus 1 gives me minus 5. Okay, so what do we do here? 3 plus 5x I can't do, but I can do 3 minus 5. So it gives me 5x minus 2. Now, you're probably turning around going, whoa, we have ramped up the complexity. And yet, interestingly, the Cambridge textbooks, and I'm deeply grateful for them letting me use our examples, can sometimes throw curveballs in. So if that example made no sense to you, don't worry about it. There's lots more coming a little bit later on in different videos. What about this one here? Ooh, decimal numbers. All right, so 3 times 8.5 minus 4 in brackets minus 4.1 plus 5.4 divided by 2 in brackets. Ugh. So we've got brackets, but we've got 2 lots of brackets. Well, that's fine. We do what's in one side of the brackets first, the other side of the brackets, but inside those brackets, we still have to do BIDMAS. Okay, so let's look inside the brackets. We got a time sign and a minus. So actually, in this situation, multiplication comes first. So 3 lots of 8.5, 8, 16, 24. That's 25.5. minus 4. Now, if you're not sure why, fire up your CAS calculator. Fire up your calculator and just do 8.5 times 4. How did I do it? 8, 16, 24. That's the 3 eighths. 3 lots of halves is 1.5, so 25.5. I'm going to minus from this. Now, what do we do first? Well, we're going to have to do the division first because that comes a little bit more important than the plus. So that becomes 4.1 plus 5.4 divided by 2 is actually 2.7. If you don't believe me, use your CAS calculator. All right, so can I now do this next bit? Yeah, I can. 25.5 minus 4 now becomes 21.5. I don't need in my brackets anymore. Minus 4.1 plus 2.7 gives me 6.8. And 21.5 minus 6.8. Can I do that in my head? Nope. So I'm going to do 21.5 minus 6.8. Okie dokie. 1. That becomes a takeaway, that becomes 0. So 15 take away 8 gives me 7. I can't do that, so that becomes 10, and that becomes a 1. So 10 minus 6 is 4, and that becomes 14.7. Now again, you can use your CAS calculator for this. It's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. That is the end of this lesson. All right, so hopefully it has been important to you. It's useful. Just BIDMAS, 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 BIDMAS. The more you practice, the better. Now, again, there are lots more videos coming in this course. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already done so, can you subscribe to my YouTube channel? I'm never going to be rich, and I'm certainly never going to be famous, but just that click, that little subscribe lets me know that you're watching. There is MaffsGuru.com as well for you. So thank you very much for that, and please ignore my phone, which has just decided to go off. Okay, so I'm done. Thank you very much. Stay safe. I'll see you again in another video. Bye-bye.